Hello and welcome back to Traffic Talks. If you are new here, my name is Pyro and I talk about everything going on in my life, from my goals to my hang-ups to anything going on around us, usually with the lesson I've learned, a few tips and tricks you can follow along to, and a whole lot of laughs in each episode. If this sounds like something you'd like to enjoy hearing, feel free to follow the podcast and subscribe so that you don't miss an episode. And to see what I'm up to, you can check out my Instagram link below. Enjoy. Today's podcast is Heritage Day 2021. So this episode is a bit ahead of its time because Heritage Day in South Africa is celebrated on the 24th of September every single year, and this year it happens to be on a Friday. So with this episode dropping on Tuesday the 21st, it's a little early, but when has that ever stopped us? Heritage Day, when I googled what it means, is as follows. Heritage Day on the 24th of September recognizes and celebrates the cultural wealth of our nation. South Africans celebrate the day by remembering the cultural heritage of the many cultures that make up the population of South Africa. Various events are staged throughout the country to commemorate this day. So that was the definition I found on the official South African government website. Another thing I also researched was, why has Heritage Day morphed into Braai Day? And it turns out that it was an initiative that was actually started by the media in 2005 to rebrand Heritage Day as National Braai Day. The spokesperson, funny enough, for this day was actually Archbishop Desmond Tutu. He was the spokesperson in 2007, even though the campaign started in 2005. And when he was their spokesperson, they changed the name to Braai for Heritage, with like the number 4. And Heritage Day is still unofficially known as Braai Day, because obviously you braai on that day. All the history aside, the one thing I did for this episode, or rather I should say, because of the history of this episode, I checked what I did for last year's Heritage Day, just out of curiosity. And I found that I was going through it last year. Like, wow, I was complaining. I was basically ranting and raving last year about how unfair it all was, and emphasized the limitations we had, because as a country now we are easing lockdown restrictions. I remember last year December we were in level 3. We are currently down to level 2, and we are still restricting quite a few ways, but we are much better off than what we were, which is interesting to see. One thing that gets emphasized with this holiday is usually our past and our predecessors, with the most emphasis being put on the importance of traditions. Now with my family, we do like certain traditions. We kind of make our own rules and we stick to them. But the fact that we use traditions has certainly influenced me. For example, we always used to go to a certain holiday place on an annual basis. COVID obviously stopped that in its tracks, because this holiday always coincided with a long weekend and the school holidays. So we were always off during this time period and we would always go somewhere. However, there is a but, and the but is mine, because a few years back, I remember I couldn't attend because of a job I had started, and I was unable to go with everyone to the holiday. And I think this was back in about 2016, if I am not mistaken. So that's quite a few years. It's basically 5 years. So I know this might sound bad, but I don't really miss missing out on anything. Or at least I don't feel like I'm missing out. I have zero FOMO, because as we know, Miss Introvert, I enjoy spending time alone, and I have come to appreciate that. But the one thing that I did realize was how I was spending my free time and my time when I'm on holiday. With all these restrictions, traveling has been difficult, especially the safety around traveling. It has been such a point of contention that I haven't flown in literal years, and we all know how much I love flying. So that is a thing. But the revelation that I realized was that I have not essentially taken a proper holiday in about 5 years. Okay, maybe 3, because 2019 end of the year I took a holiday, which was the best thing ever. So I will give it 2 years, because this year's basically done. So 2 years I haven't taken a proper holiday, and therefore I've decided once COVID is over and we are well into next year, I will be going on a holiday by myself. So that's that. The other revelation was that I essentially need to make time for the things that make me feel like I'm having a vacation at home. Some people call it a staycation. I have a very big problem with that word, so I will not be using it. But the things I like to do are things like doing my nails, sleeping in late, going out for lunch by myself probably, or going out with my sister. Those are things that I like to do when I'm on holiday. You know, you're in a comfy bed, you're in a different destination, you get to sleep late, you get to explore your area, all those kinds of things. And COVID has robbed us of this, because we are all doing things differently, and we've been overworking ourselves and not resting properly. And before we could, as in pre-COVID, we could cut ourselves off from the world. But now we are actually integrating our work into our personal lives, and it needs to stop. I'm trying to keep this short, so I'm going to close off here before I just go off on a tangent and start rambling. But we need to stop merging everything, because let's face it, COVID made us do it. Like, that's bottom line. We've made our home into an office, our dining room table into a school, and our kitchen into a lunchroom. And we need to start breaking things apart so that we can have clear, distinct areas as well as times for when we are doing these things. Because if we don't, by the end of the year, which is right around the corner by the way, for those who don't own a calendar or who aren't keeping track, it's like 3 months away. If we don't, we will be taken over, and we will not feel like we are on holiday by the time we get to the end of the year and can actually have complete free time to rest and be on holiday. And if you don't separate these things now, you won't be able to have that distinction of, no, I'm on holiday, I'm not bothering with this, I'm not doing that, etc., etc. So take the holiday, take your time, enjoy it. That's it. Full stop. That's where I'm leaving it this week. The songs of the week, because there are 2. One is a throwback. That's Nkalakata from Mendoza, which was last year's Heritage Day Song of the Year. And to this, I will be adding Vulindlela by Brenda Fassie, because duh, South African legend. That's it. End of it. Done. Finish. Mic drop. That's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, or even if you didn't, leave a comment down below. You can check out my Instagram, which I am getting better at being more active on, in the description box below. There's a link there. And as per usual, keep being a better being. I'll see you guys in my next episode. Love you. Bye.